Back in the day, I had a bad habit of actually uploading videos with some frequency, and back during that time, one of the topics I covered was a pretty strange phenomenon in which people were mourning something that never actually existed, a video game called Half-Life 3. So, interesting thing that happened 12 years ago was there was a revolutionary game that came out that had honestly an impact on pretty much every game that's come out to this point today. It was huge, it was big, it was exciting, it was revolutionary. So much so that people were really looking forward to the next one. There was teases, the last game ended on a cliffhanger, everyone was just waiting for this next game to come out, and it never seemed to ever come out. The game didn't come out for so long that it became a joke that the game wasn't coming out, and then that joke itself got old. So people were waiting for this game for a very, very long time until recently, like I'm talking within the past year or so, one of the game's head writers left the company. And it wasn't the first person who worked on this game to leave the company, but in this case, the person after leaving the company wrote the first official, unofficial fan fiction for how the game might conclude. And a lot of people saw this as a jumping off point for leaving the series and just decided they were done waiting. They were done waiting for Half-Life 3 to come out, and they decided to move on and just kind of give up on hope. Up until, recently, when a couple days ago, Valve actually announced the next Half-Life game. So I went to the Half-Life 3 subreddit to see how people were actually reacting to this, and interesting phrase kept on popping up. We need to apologize to Tyler. We're sorry, Tyler. I'm sorry, Tyler. There was one person who decided they were not going to give up. There was one person who never once gave up. There's one person who continued to post every snippet, leak, detail, rumor, whatever, to a YouTube channel called Valve News Network. So it's not unusual for, a popular game or game company to have a channel entirely dedicated to covering the news of a game or game company. What is unusual, though, is for a channel to continue covering a game or game company when there has been no official public released info about said game in years. Tyler McVicker runs a YouTube channel called Valve News Network. They've been covering everything Valve related, even when there was nothing to cover that was Valve related. The company Valve themselves have a really weird working environment where they don't even have a boss that runs the company. It's all lateral, so there's no one really in charge, which makes for some very creative and fun and interesting games, but it also means they don't have deadlines. They don't have, I don't know, man, they just function, and they seem to be functioning well for a while because they made a lot of fun games, but then they just kind of stopped doing that. But you know who didn't stop? Tyler. Tyler kept on reporting news on every smidget of every rumor, of every little leak of code that got released onto the internet. Tyler never stopped reporting on them and seemingly never stopped having hope that Valve was still going to produce some really cool games in the future. At some point, 12 years later after releasing the last one. It's impressive, or, insane, depending on how you look at it. And it seemed like lately a lot of people had given up on Valve as a company and kind of started bullying Tyler to a degree. Though I'm not sure how sincere the bullying is. It was pretty, all over his channel when I took a look at it recently, when Valve announced that they would in fact be making the supposed Half-Life 3. Now, Tyler must be feeling quite vindicated right now because he is the only channel that had any kind of a scoop on this detail, probably because everyone else just looked insane if they had said Valve was making a game recently, because people have been waiting literally 12 years for them to make this game. So can you blame people for laughing at him? No, but can you also not help but feel so happy for this man who finally got something? I mean, we don't know what the game's gonna look like, but maybe it'll be worth it. Or does it even matter at this point? Tyler's vindicated. He got his, not even a wish, but he's not a crazy person now. He was right. I mean, here's the thing though. Is the game going to even be worth it after 12 years of waiting? After a certain point, fans just stopped caring. Fans gave up. If you want to go see this other video I made, people were literally saying their goodbyes and paying their respects to a company, to a game they never thought would exist, and yet, here it is. the only person I was excited about this game at one point, but I gave up on it. Why would I wait this long? Why would anyone wait this long? Tyler, why did you wait this long? What was it about this game, this company, that was so important to you that you felt like it was worth hanging on and still reporting after all these years? At a certain point, I just have to assume that even if Tyler was certain this game was going to exist, I feel like even someone who had this much knowledge about a thing that no one else believed was real, at what point do you still hold on to that and protect it and still work to tell people about it and share the news? He's held on to this game and reported on it and talked about it and has maintained hype and excitement and saying it's gonna be real, guys, and it's gonna be great. I don't know if it can be great enough. All this leads me to believe that Tyler was making these videos and maintaining this channel not for Valve, but for some other reason. I think Tyler liked the good old days. I think he was into the community. I think he remembered the good old times when Valve made games that he really enjoyed. I don't know if those times, maybe he's hoping those times will come back again. Maybe he's hoping that now it's a return to the good old days. Maybe he's hoping that the days can be even better than the good old days now. Maybe he's excited about the future of this company and the hard work they've been doing for this long. Maybe he's just always enjoyed being this speaker, this representative for this company that he really loves. It's an interesting relationship. In my opinion, it's an entirely one-sided relationship. I'm just looking forward to tomorrow now, I guess. I want to see Tyler's reaction. I want to see if he really thinks it's all worth it. I don't know why you did this, but I just hope the game's good enough for you, man. I hope tomorrow world peace is brought about by the trailer of Half-Life Alyx. I don't think it's gonna, but at least hope that you find some peace, Tyler. Have a good night, Netscape Navigators.